What's up, guys? Pro Larper here. I actually did this question before, but I erased the recording because it was pretty bad. So pause to read. Okay, guys, I don't give a fuck if you didn't pause to read or anything. I'm just doing this for myself so I can actually absorb this knowledge, right? So write down the equation for the displacement of b, xb in terms of t. Write down the equation for the displacement of b, xb in terms of t. Write down the equation for the displacement of b, xb in terms of t. Hold on, what? Oh shit, what am I saying? I understand that. Okay, basically we gotta find xb in terms of t, which is ta, right? Gotta find what ta is in terms of tb. So we gotta find out, because it's asking us displacement of b, so in tb times, and xb in terms of t, which is t. She's talking about t here, which is basically the time for a. So we're gonna say that, okay, this is time for a. So we're trying to find the displacement of b, xb in terms of t, time ta. Right, so let's find out what tb is. So we know that tb is a half of ta, right? Because it says here tb is time taken by car b is half what takes for a, right? But ta is 2tb, right? Now we're gonna remember this, right? We're gonna remember that t equals to 3. ta equals to 3 when it's in xb. So we have to make it start from 0, because like, bro, wow, well, like, doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense if a model, if the displacement isn't given from time 0. It just doesn't. So you gotta minus it by 3. So 2. So tb is actually t minus 3, right? So then you just put t minus 3, which is also to ta minus 3, because, well, not really, actually, sorry. T is just, it's in its own, you know? T minus 3, and then after that, you wanna put this as ta, right? This is ta right here. This is t. This whole thing is tb when it equals to ta, right? So wait, what? This whole thing right here, right? tb is actually has to be minus by 3 in order for it to equal to ta in the equation here. Because look, the rules are that this is t equals to 0. The rules are t equals to 0. Therefore, the rules for here has to be 0 as well. But since t for b is at 3, you have to minus it by 3. So then it becomes, so it can apply to this. So what we're gonna do is, t minus by 3, tb minus by 3. And then after that, you wanna just, you wanna substitute this ta into here. Why? So then it becomes xb. So xb 4 square root 2t minus 3. Right? So basically, and then basically that's the answer. Write down the equation for the displacement of b, xb in terms of t. That's the answer, okay? In terms of ta, right? So you got a minus ta No, not TA, sorry. In terms of T here. Over here. So the T here is 3, so we gotta minus it by 3, multiply by 2 because like TB is talking about this T, but this T equals to 3, right? So, but then it has to be 0, so you minus it by 0, and you just substitute in this equation. Like this T, it doesn't have a T, B, or TA, it's just a T in itself. It's a T that represents this T right here in the question. So TB equals to half TA, you get this, you substitute this here, you get this, and after that you get 4 square root 2 times T minus 3, that's the answer. Now we're gonna do B. Find the value of T at which B catches up with A. Find the value of T at which B catches up with A. That's easy. You just equal them together, and T should be 6.